Okay, I'm selling my house, moving to another state next month, and I'm gonna have $400,000 in equity from the sale of this home. The next house I'm purchasing is about $420,000. Should I pay for it in cash or take out a mortgage loan for 6.9% and invest the profit? Okay, so the first thing I would ask is if you have at least $15,000 to pay the house in cash, right? If you have that set aside. And the second question I would ask is if you have enough emergency funds set aside too. So what you don't want to do is pay everything you have for that remaining 15,000. Let's just go with the cash option for a second. I'm going to get to the mortgage option later on. But if you decide to pay with cash for your home and you still need to take $15,000, $20,000 out of pocket to pay for the house, make sure it's not going to drain your emergency fund. If you say that that's going to drain your emergency fund, maybe try to save as much as you can, or just take out a quick, some type of loan that's going to cover it for 15,000. What I don't want to see is that you end up draining your emergency expenses down from 3 to 6 months to like nothing at all, right? You don't want to go into a new area, especially you going to the new state and going there with nothing, no cushion set aside. Okay. So let's just assume that you do have enough emergency funds set aside and you have the cash to pay for it. And let's just say that it's going to be, you have $20,000 and you get to pay your mortgage. All right. So I will type it again because my handwriting is absolutely terrible, even with the Apple Pencil. So let's do some exercise on this. Let's say you got to pay $420 and for the house. Okay. If you pay that in cash, the only thing you have to worry about is property insurance and taxes. That's you can do it every quarter, every year, and semi-annually. I don't know what state you're going to or what area you're going to be living in, but I'm going to use Vegas as an example. If I had a paid off home in Vegas, it would be paying my property insurance annually and then paying my taxes quarterly. That's going to the county, going to the state or city. Okay. So that will be free and clear and you don't have to worry about the mortgage at all. If you took out a mortgage and just kind of invest the difference. Okay. So let's think about the risk before you do it. If you asked me this question 2 years ago, my answer would have been entirely different, but the interest rate right now for 30 years, okay, it's about, let's say 6 to 7.5%. So in your case, let's just go, what'd you say, 6.8%? Okay. So 420 for 30 years, 6.8%. If that payment is going to be, let's say $3,500 a month, I believe that's how much it is. Correct me if I'm wrong for the PNI, probably less than that actually. I think it's like 3,000, maybe. This is just the PNI, okay? Not counting property insurance and taxes. So $3,000 a month, and you're thinking that should I invest the difference on that? Well, here's the thing, right? Nobody can know how the market's going to perform. So if you say, I just want to put money away in the CD for the difference of how much you would pay, well, CD is about 4 to 5%. So it's not even going to beat that 6.8%. The market, so let's say S&P 500, the last 10 years, it's about 11%. Barely, right? The spread, if you count inflation down, the spread is about 3%. So that's how much you're earning. You can do like even more aggressive growth. You can do moderate income where it pays you dividends. If I do the comparisons like this, to me, that 6.8% is really not worth it. Just to kind of like, okay, let's say I put the entire $420,000 in the stock market right now, and I'm going to let it grow for the next 30 years. Chances are that's probably going to grow, right? But what I don't want you to think is that the market will always go up, because it won't. When the market does really well, people just kind of start forgetting about how bad the market did 2 years ago. 2022 went down by over 20%. Small cap was down by 26%. So that's something that I think you should really think about. So what do you think is better? Investing $500 a month, making 10% return, or investing $1,000 a month, making a 7% return on investment? You can't figure out how much you can invest without a budget. There's no way around it. I personally tested out the budgeting app called YNAB, and it's not just an app that can track your income and expenses, but it can even help you create a plan to pay down your student loans, car loans, personal loans, or credit cards a lot faster. So if you're ready to change your life by getting out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, you can get a free trial without any credit card information by using a link in the description below. if the market goes down and you have this big mortgage on you right now, you're going to be paying a lot in interest, right? Anything above 5% of me is considered high interest debt. House is a little bit different because if it's over 5%, you know, the equity still builds, right? But can you touch that, the equity of your home? No, right? So you can't really touch that. Is it really worth investing into CDs and other high yield bond market or bonds or something like that? No, probably not, right? Could you have a better chance with the S&P 500? Possibly. But am I going to stress about investing in the S&P 500 for the next 30 years to compare, you know, 6.8% and 3%, 4.5%? I'm probably not going to take out a loan, but just pay off the house, only be responsible for property insurance and taxes, and that's all you have to worry about, right? I think that would be a fantastic way to go about it. Just mortgage free, debt free, you got your cash coming in. And here's the thing, right? How fast does it take you to build? Let's say you just invest that $3,000 a month instead of paying into your house. $3,000 a month, that's $36,000 a year. If you invest $36,000 a year, dollar cost average for the next 30 years, how much do you think that's going to grow? And you don't have any debt over it. In my opinion, this is my opinion. Okay, I would just pay the house with cash. That's what I would do if I were in your shoes. And I'm not telling you what you should do. Just think about the psychological effect behind this, right? I don't know if anybody ever says that they regret paying off their home. If you know someone who did that, let me know in the comment section. But I've never heard people say it. But I've never paid off my home. I'm still paying a mortgage on my home, but started investing that difference. But my situation was different, right? My interest rates are like 2%. Yours is going to be 7%. It's a different economy now. So that's something to consider. But congrats. You know, being able to pay off a home and just pay with cash, that's going to be very exciting for you. So thanks for the question.